Good morning, writers. Today we are going to start a new writing assignment that is going to be focused on perspective taking and creating a persuasive letter. I wanted to refresh your memory about the fact that we read The Day That the Crayons Quit. I read it aloud to you on Monday. I will also put it under the links for this assignment if you would like to rewatch it. But in essence, what we are going to be doing is that now that we've read all about the crazy crayons, it's our turn to try and convince Duncan to stop using you. Of course, you are pretending that you are a crayon. While you begin going through the steps, keep these questions in mind. What color would you most like to be? What would your color dislike or like? How would you want Duncan to be using you? Are you going to be funny like some of the crayons or more serious with Duncan? And are there any of the other colors that your color will relate to? Keep your reasons creative and not similar to the other crayons in the book. So I went ahead and moved through the process of the pre-write page to give you a sense of what you could maybe do. So I happen to like the color indigo, and I thought that I would sort of brainstorm things that I could come up with about the color indigo that might then translate into something I could use for this type of project. So I'm trying to take the perspective of an indigo crayon. So it is a crayon that is somewhere between blue and purple. It's kind of a merge of the two colors. So I thought I would take advantage of that fact to kind of create my piece. So what do you want from Duncan? I want him to treat me like the unique color that I am. And then down below, just like on your sheet, there's going to be a series of reasons. So let's take a look first at reason 1. My first reason, I am not blue, I am not purple. Let's be honest, indigo is a much more interesting name than either of those. So my first reason is that I am getting called different colors than I actually am. I am not the blue crayon in the crayon box. I am not the purple crayon in the crayon box. I'm something different and more interesting, at least in my opinion. Now, reason number 2, I say, let me ask you, would you call your Aunt Sue or your Aunt Anne? I don't think so. Now you know how I feel. Blue and purple may be my family, but they are not me. So I'm kind of playing around with that both artistically in the color wheel that blue and purple are close to indigo, but I'm also bringing in a little bit of humor. Something that I really enjoyed about the book itself is that from taking the perspective of these different crayons, it really brings about humor and funny lines that we always remember. So anywhere you could bring in humor, I think can really add to your piece. So then my reason 3, I say, you always forget to color my part of the rainbow. Roy G. Biv, Roy G. Biv, science says I belong in a rainbow. Pink is jumping on the rainbow bandwagon, but she is not supposed to be there. So I'm relating to another color. I'm also thinking about something that can be colored, such as the rainbow, to give an example, just the same way as they do in the book. And then for any of you, those of you that are not familiar with Roy G. Biv is a scientific term to help you understand the colors in the light spectrum, and each letter stands for one of the colors. So Roy, red, and then O, orange, Y, yellow, G is for green, and then in the last name, Biv, B is blue, I is indigo, and V is violet. So what my crayon from her perspective is saying is that even science tells us indigo is included in a rainbow and that pink is not, and therefore Duncan should be using indigo in his rainbows when he colors them. So that's just to give you a sense of how you can move through your pre-writing activity to give yourself some ideas. So really you're going to be thinking about picking your color and then asking yourself what you want from Duncan. Do you want him to use you more? Do you want him to use you less? Do you want him to know about a relationship that you have with another crayon? Do you want him to know about what you're coloring and what you're not coloring? And so coming up with a reason 1, 2, and 3 that makes sense for your color. All right, enjoy. I hope this is a lot of fun. It's meant to be. And I look forward to hearing the creative ideas that you come up with. Bye.